Hello amazing people, my name is Chanemi and once again you're welcome to my channel. In today's video I'll be teaching you how to sew this bubu gown with lace extension on the upper part. It has a v-neck and two side pockets. Now before we get started, I'd like you to like, share and subscribe to my channel. Turn on the notification button so you get notified each time I post a new video. For this video, let's get started. So first thing first, you want to mark 1.5 inches right there on your shoulder slant and connect it to meet your center front. Once that is done, I'll mark 3 inches for the neck width and then 1 inch for the neck depth. This will serve as my neck for measurement for the back pattern. So once that is done, I went ahead to cut it out like so. Once that is done, I'll go ahead and cut out my neck depth for the front pattern is 8 inches right there. And then on the sides I have equally 3 inches, just like I had 3 inches for the back. So go ahead and connect it just like you see me doing, and then mark your v-neck line. So on the sleeve opening, I'll go ahead and mark 12 inches right there, 12 inches for my sleeve opening. Then I'll go ahead and connect from my sleeve opening to meet my center front like so. So I'm just trying to cross check and make sure I have 12 inches. So on this part, I'll go ahead and mark my hip measurement divided by 4, which is 10 inches plus extra 5 inches. That's how big I want my bubu gown to be. So I'll go ahead and connect that line straight to meet the hem of my dress. So now I've gone ahead to place my center front and center back together. I went ahead to cut out the neckline and then make sure I have all equal measurements for both the center front and center back. And then I went ahead to cut out that part like so. This part that is I'm cutting out is going to serve, I'm going to be replacing it with the lace fabric. It will serve as my lace extension. So I'll go ahead and notch the middle like so and then cut through to the hem of my dress. Like so. So once that is done, I'll bring out my extension. I'm going to use this pattern now to cut out my lace for the extension. I'm just trying to trim out the sleeve to make sure it is all equal. So this is my lace for the front neckline. So just watch carefully and see how I'm placing it. I place it, my V neckline is folded backwards and then I place it at the hem of the lace. Please, wherever it is you mark the slant of your V neckline, fold it backwards just like I have done. And then go ahead and place it on the edge of the lace where you want to serve as your V neckline. So I'll just go ahead and cut it out like so. Now, so for the back neckline, go ahead and place your lace fabric and then your Ankara together. This part, you don't need to fold any part backwards. Just place it together like you see me do and then cut. Mine has a joining in the middle. If you have enough fabric, you do not need any joining around the center of your back neckline. So my lace is short. I'm short of fabric. That is why I'm going to join it right there. Go ahead and cut your own together if you have enough fabric. So that is what I'm doing right there. I'm going to just trying to cut out the back pattern. So once I'm done cutting the back pattern, I want to cut a facing which I will use to turn the allowance in. So this is my facing for the front, and then I'll go ahead and cut another facing which will serve as my facing for the back. So this is just something I'll use to turn in the allowance on that area. So next I'll go ahead and notch the middle of each of the fabric and then I'll place it wide open like so. And then I'll go ahead and mark where the middle is, and then I'll bring my lace fabric and then I'll place the edge. I'll place it edge to edge like this, touching each other, making sure that I form that V neckline around the middle. So I'll place it right sides facing each other, just like you see me doing like so. And then this is my facing. I'll go ahead and place my facing on it. And then I'll go to my sewing machine. Then I'll sew straight across it from here. Yes, and then I'll flip it over. I've gone ahead to sew, and this is what it looks like. So I'll go ahead and fold my facing backwards, and then I'll notch round where I had sewn earlier. So I'll notch around it just to make sure it has it doesn't, it's not, there's no tension around that area while ironing. So I'll go ahead and top stitch it. Once I'm done with the top stitching, just to hold the other side down, I'll go ahead and then use my hemming gum to iron it down. So just go ahead and place your hemming gum around that area like so. I like using water spray enough water on it so it can help the hemming gum to hold your fabric together properly. So I'll just go ahead and iron around that side, make sure it's laying flat. Once that is done, I'll go ahead and sew the back pattern. I'm done ironing, and this is what it looks like. My front piece is laying flat and beautiful. So we'll go ahead and work on the back piece. Now for the back piece, I told you that mine has a joining in the middle, so I've gone ahead to join my back pattern. You can see the joining right there, but like I said earlier, if you have enough fabric, you don't need any joining around that area. So I've gone ahead to sew it to my back pattern. Is just a repeated process, and then I went ahead to sew the facing to it also, just like I've done with the front pattern. So I'll go ahead and flip it over, but before then I'll go ahead and notch round it just like I've done for the front piece. It's just a repeated process. Do the same thing you have done for the front piece, repeat it for the back piece. So I'll go ahead and notch round it like so, and then I'll flip it over and give it a good press. It's just the same process repeatedly. So once that is done, like I said, I'll go ahead and top stitch and then flip it over, then I'll iron it. Now for my neckline, I don't want to use a bias tape. I want it to look like an extension, like a lace mouth extension. So just like you see, I'll sew round it like so. Yes, sew round. Use the edge of your lace to sew round your neckline like so. It gives it that beautiful look. It makes it look like your neckline is cut together. Yes, so this is the extension around the back neckline. So what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and notch it, give it a notch. Now you need this notching so that there will be no tension around that area. So I'll lay it flat like so, and then I'll top stitch it. I'll top stitch on it. This will make it lie properly. Now this makes your design looks unique and beautiful. I don't usually like the idea of bias tape around this kind of neckline, but if yours does not have a lace mouth or a lace edge, just go ahead and use your bias tape. So right now I'm going to go ahead and place my front and back piece together, right sides facing each other, and then I'll go ahead and lay it flat and then sew around the shoulder like so. So I'll go to my sewing machine and join the shoulder together like so. So this is me just trying to join the shoulder. Yes, down to the sleeve. So I'll do the same thing for the other side. I'll sew it also to the edge, and then once that is done, this is what yours should look like. So I'll go ahead and hem the sleeve. While working with this kind of lace fabric, you have to be careful while hemming it so you don't get it all twisted. So once that is done, I'll go and place my fabric right sides facing each other like so, and then I will sew from the sleeve to meet my armhole right there. Yes, to meet my armhole, and then I'll sew it down, and then I'll stop at my side slit. The slit I left out for this dress is 15 inches long. So go ahead and determine where you want your slit to sit, and then go ahead and mark and then stop there. Once you get to where your slit is going to sit, you have to pause there and then go ahead and sew the other side. Repeat the same process for the other side, and then I'll go ahead and hem my slit. So this is the edge of where my slit sits, and this is what my slit looks like. I've gone ahead to hem it, and then I've given it a good press. So guys, this is the final look. It's so beautiful. So if this video has been helpful to you, I'd like you to like, share and subscribe to my channel. Turn on your notification button so you get notified each time I post a new video. I love you all. Bye.